Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures on this occasion here in the great outdoors. Please enjoy the channel, take it for what it is. Sometimes there's a lot of videos goes on in a short period of time, and sometimes there's a gap, so it gives you time to catch up. Alright, on this channel you're going to get wild camps, you're going to get equipment reviews, gear that I've made myself, things that I've made myself like bowls and cups and spoons. You're going to get different bits of gear, you're going to get stealth camping but also bushcraft camping. So please enjoy the channel, remember to like, share and subscribe, and if you get the chance, hit the bell below, alright? So when I put any new content on, it'll ding up on your phone or whatever it is that you're using. Thank you very much for stopping by. See you in a bit. Thank you very much. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures on this occasion here in the great outdoors. Now this video is basically about what is bushcraft. Is this bushcraft, what I'm doing? Today I've brought my belt. On the belt it's got the knife, I've got my axe, the Laplander. In the bag I've got my bushcraft tools, and I've got my shelter, etc. So we're going to go down into the woods and find a nice little spot because I need to make a plate. I've got enough room in here. Give a good look at that. That is my homemade rucksack and it works perfectly. It's very comfortable. I love it to bits. So we're going to put the shelter up because we're expecting some rain today. So the idea is I can sit in the doorway to my shelter, work on the plate that I'm wanting to make, but also on the other side I'll have like a stone with my homemade cooker, so to give it me warmth, and I'll be able to use the wood that I'm cutting off from the plate to feed the fire, etc, etc, and I'll make a nice cup of tea and all that kind of stuff. Is that your ideal idea of bushcraft? For me it is, to make some of my own equipment, to go out and create something in the outdoors in this beautiful environment, and it just gives you that feel-good feeling, brings you closer back to nature, as if you're sort of partaking with nature rather than against it, and that's what I like to do. And a lot of my gear you'll see is canvas, so I don't use much modern gear, alright, and I think that puts you in the mindset as well. It's an idyllic idealism, I suppose. So is this your idea, what you're going to see, is this your idea of how bushcraft should be? Let's get down there. It's a really nice, moody, sort of dull rainy day, and for me it really brings out the colours and the ambience of an amazing location. Okay, the only difference that would be in this bag if I was to go camping is I'd have my wool blanket on the top, as I've shown in previous videos, and I'd have a little bit of food in there, and this bag would quite easily take it on board. And you can see that it's only a small bag. I don't know what the literage is, but it's a small bag, and it fits very comfortably. So for me this is a light option, even though I'm taking steel bushcraft tools, and it's giving me something to do. It's giving me an option of things to do while I'm out here in the outdoors, so I can make my own things. I think maybe I've put myself a little candle lantern in, which I've got at home. That's about it. Okay, I love this spot. I've been here a few times. I've actually camped on this location about 2 or 3 times, probably 3 at least. There is a major path that runs all the way down the side of there, but it's raining, so nobody bothered coming in here. And all these lovely old trees. I seem to have made friends with these over time. So I'm going to pitch my shelter, I think just there. It's a nice, it's not flat, but it's flatter. So I'm going to get rid of all the branches, put my shelter up, put my stuff inside, and then I can start looking around for a piece of wood I can use to make some form of plate out of. Right, so I found this bit here. All I need while I'm out and about is something I can use as a bearing block, a sort of block to rest on when I'm hitting wood, so I'm not hitting my axe into the ground. So there we go, that's all I need. It's a piece of wood, it's got a flat bottom that I can work on, so I'm not hitting my axe into the ground. And because it's a wet environment, I'm going to make sure that when I've done, everything gets sharpened up and it gets oiled. I do these with coconut oil because they're basically food grade. I can use all my tools for preparing food with. Right, let's get all there and go and find a piece of wood I can use to make a plate. I don't know anybody out there can see a plate, but I think a lot of bushcraft, when you're at it open, is about using your imagination as well. And just here, I've got a flat area of wood and I can see that it's not gone all the way through. So I can get me a Laplander. It really is about using your imagination. And you see that area there, if I cut that off. Now Laplander, it's not silky stuff, silky saws and all sorts of stuff out there. I'm a firm believer if it's not broken, don't mend it. So, the idea is to keep using this over a period of time. If it fails me, I might look at other options. Till then, I'll keep using my Laplander. It seems to be getting a bit of an hard time lately from people changing over to different things. It's a good thing to try new things out, but I'm a firm believer if it's not broken, don't mend it. And I do also enjoy using my own stuff. It's not till we get through it that we know exactly what we're dealing with, but from what I can see from the dust, that looks alright inside. There you go. Looks alright to me. Do what they say, wood makes you warm 3 times: finding it, preparing it and burning it. Now this wood that I've prepared earlier as a baseboard is broken, so I've put multiple pieces in a line which are now working as a baseboard. So I'm putting the other way, the crossways. I'm just trimming this up now with a flat surface to get rid of that sap line that's down inside there. Okay, so we've taken that big lump off the back end and we've got down to this. Now we're starting to get towards the shapy part of things. Now we're getting to this stage, I can get myself a little bit more comfortable. Always remember axe safety and knife safety. So I've just come out for a little bit of a wander about, found this tree stump and I'm just shaping now. Most of the shaping is done with the axe. So I can get right up here on the end of the axe, start shaping around. We've got to this point now, so maybe some of you can start to see what's happening. Yeah. Right guys, so that's how far I've got with the axe. But you get the idea, don't you? So now I'm going to go and get my knife. I've got my knife actually, hang on. I'm going to sit on this stump and I can start shaping. This is a knife by MP Custom Blades and Bushcraft, and it's an awesome, awesome piece of kit. And I can just start shaping. This isn't going to be a perfectly shaped bowl, because I create quirky things. It's just what I do. And I'll come back to you when I've got that a little bit further. Okay, so I've been working on it with a knife for a bit now, and getting some kind of shape. So you can see it's sort of a bit cockeyed. Take a little bit more off that side. The bottom's been flattened off on the bottom now. So yeah, just a little bit more down that edge. You can see that rim there, so I'll be taking that down to flatten it off, and then I'll be working with my adze to take some of this out of the middle. Now some people might get a little bit confused with why I have a roll for my tools instead of just having a bag. The reason being, when you've got ground like this, I can undo my roll and I don't have to worry about the floor, do I? I like how that's got the grain running all the way through it, by the way. It's a lovely stump I'm working on here, simply because it's semi-rotten on top, which means I can put the end of what I'm working on at one end, and when I hit it from the other end, it's not causing any damage on the end, it's actually padded. So this is my adze. It's not the sharpest and best adze in the world, but it does what I need it to do. And it works like this. So I'm just somewhere to jam that in. I'll just bring you around here a bit so you can see a bit better. So I'm somewhere to jam it in. And all I'm going to do is take some of that wood out. So we don't have a vice out here in Great Outdoors, so you've got to do best you can by finding indentations in bits of wood to be able to solidify things. And this adze could really do a sharpening up, but it's alright, it's doing the job. So I don't want to go too deep on this, I'm just going to give it an indentation. So you can see it's an indentation forming in that now. So again, that platey shape, I'm going to tie the edges up, and then again that, don't want to be much more than that, there's just a few areas that want taking off now, a little bit here, I think a little bit around here, and then that'll be about it. Right, so there you go, I've got the indentation that I want, I've got the shape that I want. All I'm doing is now take my crook knife and clean out all that rubbish on the inside, and smoothing things up. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a plate. I'll have to run a little bit of sandpaper over it when I get home. So it's got a flat bottom, and that is perfect size for when I'm out, because I don't want to keep eating too much, because when I go out I fill my pan full of food, I just gump lot down. And you can see it's got like a little indentation in it, and it's perfect size for what I need in the outdoors. So I'm going to go over there now, let's go and have a cup of tea. Okay, now so the bits of wood that I've cut off after making my little plate, I've made it quite thick because I don't want it to break over time, and when it dries out it might become a bit brittle. So now have I put my blades away? No, they're both here. Every blade that I use, and that's because that rain hasn't turned up yet. I can now get my sharpening tools out and just work on the edge and my knife. This has already got the Smurf pull, it's called Smurf pull, actually in there from when I've used it before. It's getting a nice finish on this knife now. Like a razor already. I've only just run it over a couple of times. Awesome, awesome knife. See, that's already starting to burn down a bit. So I'll get some more on there and build up my ashes, and then when I get the hot ashes I can put my pan on. Or me mug. I can just feel that rain just coming over now. Like a razor again. That can be put away safely and onto me axe. But I think the axe has had a lot of work on it, so I'm literally gonna, I might as well use my plate. It's come in handy already. I'm gonna just run the edge on my ceramic sharpener. See, my axe has to be really sharp. Oh yeah, it's there. Because I use it for really fine bushcraft work. Most of my work is actually done with my axe. 5, 1, 3, 4, 5. It's really, really sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is not an axe for going down lobbing trees down. This is an axe for working on bits of wood and making small items with. One chicken, you keep going. That's it. And that's back to sharp again. You see? That's back to sharp. Creating them fine coils. I can't get any bearing on it. There you go. Oh, we've got some rain finally. So there you go, it starts creating them. But so now I can get the sheath put back on that and get those sharps put away. I'm going to resharpen my crook knife when I get home. But for now, let's have a cup of tea. Finally, the rain starts to fall slightly. Lovely and warm in here. It's brought all the heat inside. I found this twig, stick. I'll cut it off just there. How bizarre is that? I've used that for something. No idea what yet, but it's interesting. It's supposed to be to rest. A lot of people have said, well, some people have said it might be too small in there. So I'll be touching canvas, and if it rains heavy, then it's going to come through. There is loads of room in there. Loads of room. Let's go the way. Look down to the bottom. Look back. It's huge. It's huge. So that is the view out. From, that's not even back. That's nowhere near back. This thing is huge. You could get 2 people in if it weren't for the fact that it like V's off towards end. But that is the view out of my shelter, and I love it to bits. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to that time, sadly. I've got to return to the real world. I'm going to finish my tea, When I get home, I'll probably run some sandpaper over the plate and I will put some coconut oil on it. Other than that, I think I've had a nice adventure, and thank you very much for coming along. I'll show you this spot before I leave to show you I've left no trace. This thing comes down really quick. Sadly, I've had no rain. It was supposed to be really raining today. We're going to try out the waterproofing of the shelter. I know it's waterproof anyway, but I just wanted to try it out, and I suppose I wanted you guys to see how waterproof it was. So yeah, I'm going to get this finished. I'm thinking of taking this charcoal home and using it again for putting it with resin to make glue. So I'll take that. What I normally do is just fold it up and carry it out with me and then empty it out when I get home. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I think the mainstay of my channel is to motivate people to getting out in the outdoors, getting involved, learning about the environment, maybe making things, maybe also to create your own equipment. We do some bonkers adventures as well. We've got one coming up. I'm going to be going out somewhere within. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please remember to like, share and subscribe. And I'm going to go and get this stuff home. The shelter got slightly damp because we've had like a drizzle. And I'll dry that out. And jobs are good. See you in a bit, guys. Just before we go, anybody remember the time I came down and made that? The tree hook. Don't be caught on. And it's still there after all this time. It's still quite happily stuck to that tree top marks.